subscribe with me again. Let's look at the last type of ecosystem, which is the aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem definition states, or it says, it is a water-based environment where living organisms interact with physical and chemical features. These living creatures whose food, shelter, reproduction, and other essential activities depend on a water-based environment are known as these aquatic organisms. So after that, let's look at the types of aquatic ecosystem. Basically, there are two main types of aquatic ecosystem, which is the marine water aquatic ecosystem and freshwater aquatic ecosystem. The marine type of water ecosystem, this is particular an ecosystem, is the largest aquatic ecosystem and covers over 70% of the Earth's total surface. This ecosystem is relatively more concentrated in terms of salinity. Nonetheless, the body of aquatic organisms is well adjusted to saline water, and they may find it challenging to survive in the water. The following categories comprise of the marine ecosystem, as the diagram shows. The first one is the ocean ecosystem, estuaries and coral reefs and coastal ecosystem. So first of all, let's look at the ocean ecosystem. An ocean ecosystem which comprises of the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and the Southern Ocean are the 5 major oceans on Earth. Notably, the Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest of these 5, while the Antarctic is the second largest in terms of its size. Also, the Southern Ocean harbors the largest population of krill among them. Other than that, the ocean serves as a home to the aquatic organisms like the Christ oceans, plankton, corals like the shellfish, the blue whales, sharks, tube worms, and the reptile and the others. So let's go to the other types under the marine world, which are the estuaries. Typically, it is the meeting point of the sea and the rivers, which makes the water slightly more saline when compared to freshwater and more diluted when compared to the marine ecosystem. Biologically, estuaries are considered to be productive as they stimulate the primary production and trap in the plant nutrients. Some examples of estuaries are shown on the diagram. So let's look at the coral reefs. These are fondly referred to as the rainforest of oceans, as they harbor a wide diversity of aquatic flora and fauna. A coral reef is an aquatic ecosystem made up of corals that form reefs. Corals are held together by the calcium carbonate in the formation of reefs. Stony corals, whose polyps cluster in the groups, make up the majority of these coral reefs. And also, let's look at the other type, which is the fresh aquatic ecosystem. This fresh aquatic ecosystem also has different types, and a good example are the one that I've written there, lutic and nyctic. So freshwater ecosystem, this aquatic ecosystem covers less than 1% of the Earth's surface and is broadly divided into wetlands, Atlantic and lutic ecosystem. So as you can see on the image. So let's look at the lutic freshwater aquatic ecosystem. The lutic ecosystem primarily refers to the unidirectionally quickly flowing waterways such as the rivers and the streams are the good examples shown below. Several insect species such as beetles, mayflies, and stony flies, as well as several fish species such as the trout, eel, and the minnow live in these settings of these streams. This ecosystem also includes mammals such as beavers, river dolphins, and otters in other places like this. So let's look at the other one, which is the lentic. Habitats of water bodies standing water such as these include the lakes, ponds, pools, and other reservoirs. Following the water bodies such as the rivers and streams are represented by the lentic ecosystem. So those are the ones that we have talked about, the lentic and lentic, the main bodies of freshwater ecosystem. Then let's look at the functions of aquatic ecosystem. The first factuality is facilitate recycle of nutrients. Let's look at the previous one. We talked about the lentic under the freshwater, the marine water. This helps in the facilitating of recycling of nutrients. If the water is well purified with no other bacteria like the throwing of these thrashes, pollution whatsoever, it facilitates on the nutrients for development of these planktons and the plants that are produced in the streams and these swamps. It also helps in the purification of water. Purification of water, we're looking at the salinity of water. It also recharges the underground water. As the water is circulating the hydrological cycle, the water is refreshed back, or it's coming back. If the water isn't sufficient, it returns back by through the using of the unconfined and confined, where its porosity is high, the other porosity is not, thereby storing of water. So let's look at the other one. It's a habitat for aquatic flora. It's also a habitat for this aquatic flora for survive. The other one is also mitigate flood, which are commonly worldwide. So this mitigates the floods that we may be facing. Apart from that, let's look at the characteristics of aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem, the first type, it serves as a home for variety of aquatic animals. Secondly, the majority of vegetation is made up of algae and corals. They have a lot of biological diversity. The other one, they help regulate the hydrological cycle as acts as the pollution filter. The other one, among the others, that means basically there are 4 of them. So let's first look at the first one, which is talking about it serves as a home for variety of animals. In this, it includes that most animals live in these particular places. This can include the fish, the sharks, and whatsoever etc., including the others. Majority, the vegetation is made out of algae and coral. Algae is the one that is found underground. It looks evergreen, as you can see in the lakes and also in the oceans. The thing that is found on the underground of the water. Other than that, they have a lot of biological diversity also. They help to regulate the hydrological cycle as it acts as a pollution filter. It regulates all the pollutants out for proper functionality to avoid the death of various animals which are in that aquatic ecosystem. So lastly, let's look about the structure of aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem has 2 structures, which is abiotic component and biotic component. A biotic component basically talks about its climate factors such as temperature, light, water, organic and inorganic compounds. Apart from that, let's look at the biotic compounds, whereby it has its producers, which are the plankton, and also its consumers. The primary consumers are also known as the zooplankton. The secondary consumers are known as the small fish, and the tertiary consumers are known as the big fish. And apart from that, let's also look at the decomposers such as the bacteria, fungi. The abiotic components such as light, temperature, water. These help in the formation of photosynthesis, of the development of this algae for the mammals such as the fish to survive in this aquatic ecosystem. And also let's look at the biotic components. As I stated, like the producers, these producers, the cytoplasm is also made out of photosynthesis, on which the fish, sharks rely on through the method of photosynthesis, as I mentioned earlier on. On the consumers, we have talked about the primary consumers such as the zooplankton, the secondary consumers, the small fish, tertiary consumers, and the big fish. That means there are different productions of sizes: the small fish, big fish, and the others. The decomposers, this usually the bacteria and fungus. Thank you for watching me and subscribing me.